know if this is going to work out quite so well. All right, we are live. It's about damn time. Let me fix my lights that are getting crushed here in the corner. I'm going to have to mount these things up there. Hey, Lorenzo, how's it going, buddy? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear everything that I'm saying? I hope you can because I've got a whole different setup going on here tonight, and it's a little bit weird. So, all right, let's get Lynn in here. We're gonna try anyhow. So it's free for all Friday night. There she is. Lynn is in the house.
Why? How come do I look like foggy to you?
Yeah, you look real foggy. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe my camera's dirty. Hang on.
I
There.
feel like I feel like my mom just
Licked her
uh,
finger and wiped your face?
yeah. Yeah, I just was like,
That's so weird.
don't do it, don't do it. You did it, but no, it looks a lot better now.
Shit, was that
So
dirty?
it was real dirty, so dirty. In fact, I just wondering maybe you need to get a new phone, just like I just did, because that was a hell of an experience. I tell you what.
Oh, it's not just dirty. It's just dirty.
You're just a dirty girl, just a dirty girl.
Hey, Blaine.
What's going on, Blaine? Alina's
Welcome.
here. Lana Cardillo is here. I wonder if I'm ever saying that. I'm just going to start calling her Cardillo anyway. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know. Leanne is here. Lynn is sitting next to me. We are just about, I was just going to go right through the names like, oh, Lynn is here. Lorenzo was here. But nobody wants to stick around tonight, but that's okay because it's going to be epic. Tonight is Free for All Friday night. Just like each and every Friday, we come to you with viewer questions. And not only viewer questions, but we even have some pretty cool comments from time to time. And we will interact with you as long as you keep the conversation going. We will play right along with you. You guys control the flow of the show tonight. So let her rip. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and we would be more than happy to bring that up and tell you what we think.
Give you our 10 cents.
Our our yeah. Just don't ask for 11 cents change because I'm broke. I just had to buy a new phone.
What kind of phone did you get?
What? Oh my God. Okay, so here's how it really worked. I didn't buy the phone for me. I bought my wife a new phone, and I ended up taking her old phone, which is still a relatively new phone. It's a ZTE Blade Max, which
The hell is
what
that?
it stands for, well, what I'm learning is ZTE stands for it's like some weird language that people don't really understand,
No
but
shit.
it definitely it means that this phone is shit in whatever language that stands for, and I'm telling you, this it's horrible. I mean, here's the thing: the phone's got 32 gigs of memory, internal storage, all that kind of. It's cool, whatever. And so you get a lot of cool space to be able to download a ton of shitty apps that you don't use ever,
Ah.
which is typically what I do. And then I I got to use my damn fingerprint to unlock the damn phone. Well, problem is I forget which finger I need to use to unlock my phone. Sometimes it's in my left hand, and I try to unlock it with my right finger or my left finger,
Oh my
and
God.
it won't read it. It just tells me, "Hey, dummy, try again in 12 seconds." So then I got to wait 12 more seconds to try to unlock my phone. Um, I'm not a tech dummy. I understand cell phones. Unfortunately, this one here is getting the best of me. It's kicking my butt. It really is.
Wow. Huh. Wow. Huh. Well,
But the
at least you got
camera's
a phone.
great. The
Yeah,
camera looks really good though. I like that.
it
It's
does.
definitely got it's got a great front facing camera. The rear facing camera is like I want to say it's like 15 megapixels or 16 megapixels. The front facing camera is like 12 megapixels or 13 megapixels, something like that. So it's actually a really, really good camera.
Yeah, I can see that.
Too bad the operations aspect. And now I know people are going to be yelling, "Hey, it's operator error." No, it's not operator error. It's the phone sucks. You know,
Phone sucks.
when you swipe to the right,
Yeah.
most people, if you got a Samsung Galaxy or an iPhone, it's like instant, bam. Hell, you don't even have to touch your phone; it's already turning the page because it's just anticipating where you want to go. This one here, you swipe it,
Yeah.
you swipe it, you
Uh,
swipe it, you swipe. God damn it! Just move to the next page,
Holy.
and then it'll go to the next. You got to cuss at it in order to get it to move to the next page.
Huh.
So,
Well,
not exactly a fan of that.
well.
Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about my phone because we got people that are here. They want to actually
Hang out and
know about really cool stuff, and
yeah,
well,
like
that's what we're
Blaine.
here to do. Like Blaine, thoughts on live streaming versus podcasting. You know, and that's a great one. That's a great place to start off, I think, tonight because we got some pretty cool questions and some comments that we'd like to touch on. But I think this is a really good place to start to kind of get the juices flowing a little bit because you just happen to have live streamer and podcaster sitting right next to each other who love to talk about what it is that we do.
Yeah, all day long, all the time. Eat, breathe, and
and
sleep.
so let's go, ladies first. Let's talk
Oh,
podcasting.
okay. Well, live streaming versus podcasting, I think that that's sort of like, I don't think you could really compare them. I think they're sort of two different things because you can do different things, but I'll share I'll share my 10 cents. Um, I I like podcasting, and I think podcasting will always be king, simply for the fact that it's portable and it's multitasking. You can take it with you, you can do anything with it. So I think it has that little bit of an edge. Live streaming, I think, is fantastic because then it gives even more dimension to people. So then, because when you post on Facebook, it's so one dimensional. You're not getting anything from it. And then if you had podcasting, well, then at least people are hearing your voice. Live streaming, now they're getting a really good idea. And I think that's a fantastic way for people to get to know you with the live streaming. But I do think podcasting has that edge to it. Now, you can do both. And because you can take your live stream and turn it into a podcast. So,
You know, I want to add a little bit to that though. You said
I
that
knew
you
you
think
would.
podcasting, you think podcast is king. Well, I'm going to,
Audio
if
is
podcast,
king.
okay, so if audio is king, let me know the last time you heard or you downloaded the wedding of, say, maybe somebody that you cared about. You can't do that with live streaming. You can do that. You can, it's like you're sitting right there. Now, I have never, I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm sure somebody got the weird idea like, hey, my niece is getting married and I'm going to record all the audio and I'm going to send it out there so people can listen to my niece get married. Live streaming, it gives you the opportunity to be able to be right there at the
Well,
time that it's
duh.
happening and actually and engage. And that's the thing about podcasting you don't get is that direct engagement. And I think that's one of the reasons why podcasting live streaming works so well together is because you get to utilize the video aspect. You get to know who we are. You see us, you hear us, everything. There's no hiding anything. But then when you record the audio, you can repurpose that and push it out into the universe for
Yeah.
ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing about the live stream aspect of it is we can engage immediately. You say something right now, we can address that and we can bring that into the show, and it becomes part of the content. It really helps the viewer participate in a way that they can't participate necessarily in podcasts. Now, not
Oh,
saying that
true. That
everybody wants to
absolutely.
participate,
That's totally true.
not
Yes,
saying
the
that everybody
engagement.
needs to though.
Yeah.
Right, right. And that is the only advantage that live streaming has over podcasts. I I'm a podcaster. I love it. It is one of my passions. I love live streaming. It's one of my passions. However, if I were to have to choose between one or the other, I'd pick podcasting all day long.
Would
All day
you
long.
really?
Absolutely.
Oh, that
It's
totally
just
shocks the hell out of me.
well, podcasting, there's so many things we can do with audio that we still don't really have the capabilities to do with the video. After a certain period of time, video just goes away. People don't rewatch stuff from, say, last week, even though you may have evergreen content. People definitely don't. They don't go through video archives looking for that old interview that they thought you might have done back, say, in July.
I do.
It's just always, it's just
I
constantly
do.
moving. Not everybody though, and it's
No,
just with
I would
podcasting.
I would do that over going back to listen to somebody's podcast. I would never go back to find a podcast, but I would go back and watch a video because I get that much more. I get to see them, hear them.
Well, the thing I like about podcasts is the fact that like if I find a new podcast, for example, when I found Appalachian Pie, I went in to subscribe to it. I was able to download the entire catalog that was available to me. And when I listen to a podcast, I don't just start from that moment and keep going on from there. I want to get some backstory. I want to kind of see how this is developed and see where they've come from. So I'll listen to episode 1. I'll go back and listen to episode 10. And the thing I really like about most podcasters is they try to to at least give you a sense of where they've been with each show. So you can listen to the progression. You can listen to how their shows have evolved, and that's the thing I like about podcasting. Whereas in video, I don't want to watch, sit and watch 4 hours of video because there's just more shit that I could be doing. I don't need to be sitting here watching videos going down the rabbit hole.
Exactly. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
But
saying.
but
Podcast.
if you're live streaming and turning it into a podcast, now you've done your audience a service.
Yeah.
Now you've made it easier for them to be able to go back and listen to the things that were said during a show without having to take up their time and monopolize their viewers, viewing time.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And that's why I think that audio will always have that slight edge because you
oh
can
yeah.
take it with you for sure. Um, but I do I love radio. I like radio because it's in the moment. I like things happening live. And that's what I really like about live streaming is because it's like radio. It's happening live. If something happens, well, it happens. Like there's nothing you can do about it. You can't edit it out. So that's why I say it's almost like comparing apples to oranges because how
It
it
is.
works it's different. So I think that if you do the live stream and you turn it into a podcast, when I look at you, you're like that side of the screen for me is all like half green and half red. Like it's all
Hmm.
distorted and half green and half red. That's weird.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of wow. That is kind of weird. Let
And
me
it
go
kind of
look
would
at it
have
on
that
the.
with your old phone, but now this one is even like, whoa, like you're completely like half green, half red. But as long as
Oh,
like you're
that's
not
weird.
seeing that on my side, but I don't see that. happening live. It's just the way I'm seeing it, I guess, on my phone. Anyway,
Wow.
I just wanted to. So I don't know if
I'm
that
just
answered your question, Blaine, or you were just curious, or do you have specific questions beyond that? But yeah, I think they're somewhat two different animals. It's really hard to compare um, the two because they're just so different. I think live streams like radio, and
hmm.
podcasting is just that recorded, edited, clean cut version of things.
Wow. Yeah, I was just looking at the live stream over on Facebook, and to be honest with you, I don't understand what's going on right now because here on the camera or on the phone, it's perfect, crystal clear, 4K video.
You're
I look.
breaking up.
Oh, that was the other. Now I'm breaking up.
You're breaking
Man,
up
I'm coming in broken and stupid.
on the video alive. You're kind of it's kind
Yeah,
of
it's glitchy. It's like it's
yeah,
really. I don't get it. So.
bizarro.
hmm.
Oh well, something to work on, right? Something new. Play with your phone. Something to play with while you're busy.
Well, and that's what I'm not understanding is the fact that it looks crystal clear here. You look crystal clear, I look crystal clear, but then when it goes over to the,
Yeah, it's odd.
when I'm watching it back, it's just kind of wacky. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check and see what it is that's going on. Maybe it's an internet connection deal. I don't know. Um, I know right now I've probably got my kid, my sister-in-law, their TV. So
Oh
there's
yeah.
three people online right there. My other daughter's online, my wife's online, and probably the third, the other TV. So there's seven. Then my computer, and then yeah, I've got 8 devices online right now, and it's all wireless because it's coming into the phone.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm sure that's probably what the problem is, to be honest with you. So says I'm more curious about the reason to YouTube as well. Never done video. Here's the thing with YouTube. Um, the purpose of YouTube is to get people the hell off of YouTube. Um, the biggest thing I tell people a lot when we discuss YouTube is you want to use YouTube and you want to create a strategy around it. And the way it works is so, for example, you're using Facebook Live and you're going to be repurposing that content for, say, a podcast or online radio. So you're pushing people using your Facebook Live to a platform somewhere else. We send people to Mile High Radio and we send people to our website, gritandgracetv.com. Now, YouTube is the same thing. Think about it as another spoke, another part of the strategy. You create your videos, you put them there. You don't want to put the same videos necessarily all the time. If you're using this type of strategy, you want to be able to put maybe a shortened version of it, but you still want to give a strong call to action to get them to hell off YouTube. Because what happens when we get on YouTube, you might start on my page, but you're going to end up on some other page altogether. You're going to go down that YouTube rabbit hole,
Yeah.
and you have done forgotten about the video that you initially came to watch. So, like I said, the strategy there is to get them the hell off of YouTube, push them over to your website. One of the things I used to like doing in the past was creating a trailer video that had everything that I wanted to have in a full video, right? And then at the very end of that trailer, it was usually about a 2.5 minute trailer, and then I would have a click here for for the full video.
Yeah.
They click there, it would shoot them off of YouTube onto my website where I had the YouTube videos that were hidden. You put, how you can hide your YouTube videos, then you can embed them on your website.
Yeah.
So I would hide them. I would hide them on YouTube, but I would embed them on my website. So all they had to do is go over to they would click that button, shoot them over to my website. Now the only videos that they can watch videos all day long on my website because they're all my videos. But at the same time, it's always pushing them somewhere. You kind of have to have that focus of what you want to have done. Where do you want to put them? How do you want your audience to interact with you? And what do you want them to do once they've interacted with you? So that's
Yeah.
down
See,
and
I
dirty
don't
YouTube
think
strategy?
that I think depending on what you do, YouTube is either for DIYers or entertainment. That's
Thanks, Bonnie Frank.
that's really what YouTube's for, or storage of your videos. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of podcasters that do put their videos on YouTube. We do. It's really as a
Hmm.
storage place for all of our shows. Really. Because
Now, I,
it's not high. We don't get high viewership on YouTube. People are going to
no.
YouTube to be entertained, or they need to learn how to do something. So I think the only podcasters really that get a lot of views on YouTube are those that are teaching them how to edit,
How to's. Yeah.
and that's really what it's about. I mean, there is definitely strategy to it. I have no interest in spending the time how to figure out strategy to YouTube. I know a couple people that do it. That's all they do. They're brilliant at it. But I think for what we do, it's really for us, it's a storage place for other than Facebook to have.
Right.
So
Now there is kind of a reemergence going on right now with YouTube.
yeah,
So pay attention to what's coming. Learn a little bit about YouTube. Don't just jump in and start dumping your video on there and thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get a million views." You're not.
no, you're not.
It takes time. It takes time to build this up. But at the same time, pay attention to what's going on at YouTube. They have completely changed. They've rebranded. They have a brand new logo. They've changed how they're doing their lives. Changed how many subscribers you need to have before you can do your own link. I mean, there's so much
Yeah,
going on over there, but they are emerging once again as the video giant. They are going to be blowing Facebook out of the water here very shortly, not only in videos but in lives as well, because there's a brand new marketing strategy, a brand new what's the word I'm looking for? Promotional strategy from the YouTube algorithms to start getting the word out about where you can actually share it. So you'll actually start being able to share your YouTube lives direct from YouTube, not just from Google Hangouts, but you'll be able to go live straight through YouTube and share it out to Twitter. You'll be able to share it out to Facebook and Google Plus. So they're changing things up. They want to be the video giant again. They're sick and tired of getting their asses kicked by Facebook. That's plain and simple. That's how it is.
yeah. So there you
So
have
let's there you have it.
it.
So
There you have it.
uh let's talk. Let's what I know you got a question and I was going to go over and look at it and I didn't. And the reason why I decided I wasn't going to go look at it, I don't even know if you actually sent it to me or not, but the reason why I decided I didn't want to see it was because I didn't want to think too much about it. Because you know
Yeah,
how sometimes you start thinking about something, it's like you put more into it than you needed to.
yeah.
So that's kind of how I wanted to approach this one. And
And that's why I didn't send it
let's
to you,
see.
because I did want it to be a surprise.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were on the same page.
So good deal, good deal. So at least hey, that's how we roll. Sometimes we just
So if you're watching Fridays, Free for All Fridays is when we answer viewer questions. Sometimes they're sensitive, so you can ask anonymously, and you can do that through our website. If you go to gritandgracetv.com, there's a comment or question tab, and you can ask a question anonymously, and you can leave a comment, you can suggest things, whatever you'd like. But if it's a sensitive question, which we have had plenty, like sensitive questions, that people didn't want their name, but they really wanted the input. And you know what? There's the input that comes from the people that are watching that engage too. So that's the beauty of asking questions, is you get input more than just ours, because we don't know everything. Like, we go by our experience and our ideas and experience that we have with clients. So it's great when the audience can participate and contribute. So anyway, there's that. Okay, so the question, it's very short, sweet, and simple. The question is, what do you do when you have $0 in your bank account but are trying to manifest money that isn't showing up?
Wow.
It should say when you're trying to
So you have
manifest money and it isn't showing up. Because if you're manifesting money not showing up, then you won. So anyway, what do you do when you have
um
$0 in your bank account and you're trying to manifest money that isn't showing up?
I guess I don't quite understand the meaning. What do they mean by manifest? Are they talking about actual, like the guru hooty hoo manifestation thing?
Yeah.
Is that what they're talking about here?
Well,
Because
yeah, that's basically when they use the word manifest. They're trying to make money happen. Yeah, that's more the
or
woo-woo side of.
yeah, I guess I mean I look at that as like, hey, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, but at the same time, it's looking at it like, well, if I'm manifesting, it's like, I'm manifesting a new house. Well, hell, I've been manifesting that since I was freaking 25 years old,
See, but it
and it just
happened.
happened now at 42. It happened. Well, did I manifest it? No, I worked my damn ass off, freaking got a great deal, and I bought a damn house. I wouldn't call that manifesting. I would call that just doing what you need to do.
You're so funny.
Um, get a job. Uh, you know, I don't get into this whole woo woo stuff. I really don't. I don't believe you can wish yourself into something by thinking positively. I believe that action creates reaction. Having a job, being able to put money in the bank is the reaction, and being able to get what you want because of that, it's cause and effect.
Yeah.
That's really what it all boils down to, in my opinion.
I think, yeah. Thanks, Alyssa.
Manifest sleep all you want. Thanks, Elisa. Sleep is
Yeah,
easy to manifest. Shut your eyes, go to bed.
not for some people, unfortunately. I'm so glad I'm not one of them. But manifesting does require something. But there's been plenty of times that things have come that there was no action required. But I absolutely believe you can't go sit on a mountaintop cross-legged and expect to, you know, come down off the mountain and you have a mansion and a yacht. Absolutely not. But I think that there are some things that can come along. But I will say that if you have doubt, and I mean, I'm not really big on it either, but I'm probably a little bit more understanding than you are, CJ, on the whole topic of manifesting. But you can't, and really what it has to do with is faith. It's having faith, really, is what manifesting is. So you can't doubt and have faith at the same time. You just can't. If are believing in yourself and you want to manifest, a business. You want to start a business. You're not quite sure what it is, or there, you do have something in mind. You want to manifest it. You don't have the money for it, but you want to start this business. You don't have the money to get into it. I mean, it really, it you want to think about it. You have to have faith that whatever it is that you need, the opportunity that can make it happen is going to happen. That is manifesting. But if you are doubting, and if you're one of those people that says, well, I'm never lucky, yeah, right, that's not going to happen, you can't doubt and have faith at the same time. It doesn't work. So that, in a nut, is really what manifesting is. But I want to give you an example. I want to give you a story of an example that happened to me a few years back. It was like 3 days before Christmas. Broke. I needed a little extra cash. Luckily, I had bought presents and things like that, but I had run short. Things were a little tough that Christmas. And I thought, okay, I was just like, every time I've needed something, it happens. So I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to freak out. And I've seen it. This has happened to me over the years, over and over and over and over. And it happens whenever I need it. And it just gets to that point, and I think, no, I'm not going to stress because I know that whatever I need is going to happen. And it was about 3 days before Christmas. And I went to my mailbox to check the mail, and there was an envelope in there. It had my name on it. Someone had, markers on it. There was a heart, another, a happy face and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Stuck in the mail. So I open it, and I open up this piece of paper, and it's like printed out, like off a computer, right? And it just said my name, and it was quite long, and it just said how I was such an amazing person, and I was so inspiring, and I deserved so much, and just it was just a really nice thing with $100 bill. And of course, it wasn't signed. I asked like around, I asked my friends, I asked people like, "Did you send me this?" Like, and no one knew. No one knew like the struggle at that time, because it's not like you go around going, "Look, I'm so broke." Um, and it was like exactly what I needed. It was exactly what I needed. I was able to buy the last couple things, and it was perfect. But I had faith that what I needed was going to come. So that's an example of manifesting. And that has happened to me so many times that, I used to stress years and years ago, 15 years ago. I used to really stress. I don't anymore when it really gets to, if I need something, I mean, not money, just money wise, but whatever. Um, I always just step back a moment and go, like it's what I need is going to come. So that's an example of manifesting. But it doesn't mean you go sit on a mountaintop and cross-legged and everything you want in life. I mean, you have to work your ass off. Absolutely. It's having faith that to go along with your work, to go along with you being aware of opportunities and saying yes to opportunities and not being skeptical about things. That's really what it's about. So that would be my advice is, you have zero money. Are you doubting? Do you doubt? What's the language you use? Do you say you're an unlucky person? Do you say I'm never lucky, or I doubt that'll happen? Or do you even have those thoughts? Do you think, well, that's just not me? So, your thoughts and your words are pretty powerful. I would look at that first, because any doubt will interfere with your faith of trying to allow what wants to come to you to come to you. And sometimes it's just not noticing things. So,
See, and I guess I've always looked at it as lose your expectations. Don't expect anything. Is it seems like when we have expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment, and disappointment leads to negative thinking. And once you get into that negative thinking mode, it's really hard to do anything.
I think expectation is
The
different. I think there's stress attached to expectation. I think it's
yeah.
different than having faith that everything will be okay, that I'll be okay.
Hmm. Yeah, see here the thing I don't like about this whole manifesting thing. It's like it's a trend. It's a trend.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like yeah, it's just like being authentic. That was the trend. 2017 trend above all trends.
Is manifesting, yeah.
Manifesting and gratitude, and you get into all this stuff, and really it all boils down to one thing. It 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 boils down to you. It boils down to who you are. If
Yeah,
if you're a dick,
if you're a dick.
you're not getting that. If you're not getting that $100 bill, but if you show up with an open heart, you show up with just as a giver.
Yeah.
If you show up in that context, people will take care of you. It's not about manifesting anything. It's you've given more than what you're ever going to receive. But the little bits that you receive here and there and throughout time, it's going to be it's worth more. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you're not expecting it to come when it does come to you. So when we drop our expectations, we believe in what we're doing is the right thing, and we give shamelessly and we give open-heartedly, things happen for us.
Hmm.
And with this question, um, there's so many things that are going on. I mean, if you don't have money in the bank, starting a business right now probably isn't the right thing to do. If you don't have money in the bank, finding a way to have a stable source of income is probably the right thing to do. I
Hmm.
mean, when I say stable source, I mean not just the job, the just over broke, the one where you pay every bill you can and you still have a bill left over. It's like, oh, I'm going to get that next time, and I won't pay this one next time. I'm not talking about that type of stable. I'm talking about a source of income where you can live like no other, so you can live like no other. To steal something from Dave Ramsey, um, he's absolutely right. You can build yourself a life of wealth, health, and happiness. The only thing you have to do is you literally have to look at what you're doing in your life and cut out those things that are unnecessary. Once
Hmm.
you cut out those unnecessary bits and pieces, live on beans and rice, ramen noodles, whatever it takes. You know, get rid of that 200 or that $650 a month car payment. Go buy yourself a $2,000 car. Do whatever you got to do so you're not making all these extraneous payments.
Hmm.
And you'd be surprised on how easy it is to start building yourself into a position where you can go out and start maybe a little side business here and start kicking in a little extra money into that fund. Next thing you know, you're a year in, you got $23,000. What do? You go buy a house.
And that it actually is an example of the manifesting too. I think it's the word that um, kind
Makes
of
me
gets,
want to puke.
yeah, that gets thrown off. Because you're right, it is manifesting has been the theme of 2017 and all that I've seen around. And it's really, when it's that whole, when one door closes, another door opens. It's when you let something go, something else great. It has to do with your focus on things too. It's really, um, yeah, and what you just said, that is that is another example of that. You're freeing up stuff, you're getting rid of stuff to free up money, and that alone will bring more money to you. So I think it's, yeah, the word that just is kind of a difficult
Yeah,
thing.
it's definitely the word. Because when I think manifest, I'm thinking like seances. Like, oh, the ghost of
Appears.
Houdini manifests itself. I'm sorry, but the word manifest just doesn't. I just got a bad feeling in my stomach when it comes to manifesting. Yeah, but then I'm from the Midwest. The Midwest, we've got a reputation for being hardworking people, blue collar. Get out there, just do the job. Embrace the suck. It could be the worst job in
Yeah,
the world, but you go out and you just do it because it needs to be done.
yeah,
So,
that's the same thing here where I
it's
live.
it's
Very blue
you know,
collar type, get a
hey, what's
job.
going on, Pat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's it's
there is a big online uh manifesting clique of people. So it's actually very popular. They're doing very well. They're all really promoting the manifesting thing and propping each other up. So there is quite a manifesting clique happening online. Facebook's like
well, good
school.
for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. I'm not here to
It's
say
how you
that
look
they're
at it.
wrong. I'm not saying, yeah, and it's not. I'm not here to say that they're right. It's just, man, this whole thing we're discussing. It's like religion. For every one person you find that's this, you're gonna find 100 people that are that,
Yeah.
and it's the same type of thing. And if manifesting is how you get through your day, if that's the word you like to use to get through your day or to get through your week or your month or your year, hey, go for it.
But
Who
I
am I
think
to tell you not to use that word?
that's what gets I think that's become somewhat the downfall, because you're seeing them go, oh, I had this thought and look, someone magically sent me 5 grand. And so there's this downfall of people going, well, why isn't that happening to me? What's wrong? How do I manifest? How do I because that has become such a thing, that's the downfall. People then they start feeling kind of shitty about themselves. So, you know what? Believe in yourself. Find somebody to help you. Reach out. Get rid of shit that you may not need. You know, if it has to do with money, like our viewer question was about manifesting money, uh, you know, find ways that you can free that up and, you know, reach out to people that maybe could provide an opportunity for you to bring more in. Like, just focus on them more and
Yeah.
have faith that it'll happen.
You know, I, it reminded me of this just reminded me of something here. Me and my wife are like yin and yang. And the reason why I say that is because she's very much a worrier. She worries about, if we're short on money, how are we going to do this? And I'm very much the opposite. I'm not the worrier. I'm that guy that says, "Don't worry about it. I got this. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
And and she's like, "Well, we've got this, our daughter's graduating this year. She's got to have $165 this week for a cap and gown, and we're sitting here and we've got like no money because you went out partying with your boys last week." Yeah, that's okay. I got this. She'll be taken care of. And that
But see,
I
that's
think sometimes
manifesting. That's exactly what
it's not
manifesting is.
it's
Again.
not manifesting because I've got some knowledge that she didn't know. I knew I was getting a $900 check today.
Oh.
Well, actually, it was. I knew I was going to be paid $900
Oh,
out of
okay.
an $1,800 check today.
Oh, okay.
So there's certain things that happen, but I didn't manifest that $1,800
No, you
check.
worked for
What
it.
I worked my ass off for it.
Yeah.
So there's so many things. I think people just misunderstand. They think, well, geez, I don't know what to do. I'm broke as a joke. I can't pay my damn cable bill. Maybe I'll just go sit on my freaking couch and play some more Mario Brothers, or what games do they play nowadays? I don't know. I'm not a gamer, but they'll sit there and I mean, literally, this is not a joke. This is absolutely the truth. I did a job for these people, and I had to go in the house because I had to change out their bathtub drain. I walk into the house. The wife, I mean, the house is dark, middle of the damn day. The house is dark. I'm like, wow, I can't even see where I'm going. So I go, hey, is there a light I can turn on here? Oh yeah, it's over there. They didn't even get up to go turn the light on. They just pointed me in the direction. So I go over, I turn the light on, go back, change the drain out. I come walking out, and here the wife is sitting on one couch, the husband's sitting on the lazy boy. They're playing video games. Video games. I'm like, really? That's what this millennial lifestyle is? I mean, we're just husband and wife gamers, and they both on separate damn headphones, their own headsets. They're on separate TVs, separate game consoles, playing two different games with other people, not even each other, other people. I'm like,
Hmm.
and I see stuff like that, and it's like, wow, what? I mean, and then we're sitting here talking about manifesting. I mean, how in the hell do they sit there and come up with this whole concept? Oh, hey, we're gonna sit here and play our video games. Yeah, I know I gotta pay you $300, but can you take payments? I really need my plumbing fixed. No, I can't take payments. I mean, I don't know where it's going. And you just need to pay the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
This trend, all these trendy things like the manifesting and the woo woo stuff that we've been seeing this last year. I think we're going to find a lot of people are going to be. I mean, it's almost like the '60s again. It's almost like
Yeah,
free
sort of.
love, folks, free love.
Yeah, the whole
I mean, I don't
goddess
know.
and yeah, yeah, somewhat. I think there's like all kinds of mix of things happening right now, but and you know what? Everybody's so desperate to come up with some fancy name for things, and then people don't really get what it is, and and then it throws them off, and they feel shitty about themselves, and they see other people doing stuff, and then they're comparing themselves, and it's just like I think that really puts people off, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think we answered the question.
Yeah, I think we beat that one to death.
Well, you did anyway.
So I know, I'm sorry. I see stuff like that and
You're
it's
so
just like,
funny.
oh come on. So are we ready for one that's not nearly as hard? But it's a
But
money one.
do you
It's
want
about
to talk
money.
about that? Like, because we're getting close to running out of time and we wanted to talk
What are you
about.
talking about? We started 10 minutes late. We still got 20 minutes.
Oh, did we? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, that's why you're the producer. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was having a hard time getting my phone working right. So, plus we had about 5 minutes of chatting at the beginning that I'm going to cut out anyways because
Oh,
it didn't make
awesome.
any sense.
Okay,
But so we
let's
got
do
time.
it.
So this one's about money, and this is actually touching on something that you and I talked about way back at the beginning when we were discussing the show with Grit and Grace when we discussed uh, people talking about money. So I think it was like episode what 3 or something like that, 4. So says, what's everyone have to say on this? Wife tends to gamble and hide winnings, even when the money is
Oh,
is really needed. Like when I bought my house, she had nearly $10,000 and did not come forward with it. I struggled and end up even borrowing money from a relative at the time. I know a couple of I know a couple of other times she has done this as well. She used the whole $10,000 on foolish things little by little over the course of a year. However, she still takes her paycheck and gambles it away. She is sure to tell me about she is sure to tell me about that and does not very often contribute to the financial needs of the household. I do understand if a spouse wants to hide a little money once in a while, but that's a lot of money to be hiding away.
10 grand? Shit, yeah.
Yeah, wow. I wish, if I had $10,000 stashed away, I'd probably have a new motorcycle. No,
Yeah.
here's the thing. When it comes to something, that's almost as bad as cheating, I think, in my opinion. But I'd love to hear what you think about that.
Well, uh, I I think you got to decide whether this is whoa. Leave. Like leave. Like that's shitty. You work your ass off, you had to borrow money to buy a house that she's living in and she's hiding, she doesn't contribute to it. She spends all her money gambling and she doesn't like she's got to get some help. Like she's got to get some help. Decide if you want to be there to work with her to get help. And I mean, that's a tough addiction. Gambling addiction is tough. And so, I would be finding out if she's going to get help and do you want to stick around through that help or get the fuck out because it's not going to change. And complaining about not having money and borrowing it and all of that, that trust is done. And if there's no trust, like,
Yeah, and like I said, it's as bad as cheating in my opinion. Um, because that's virtually what you're doing. You're cheating on your spouse with a gambling habit, with an addiction. And addiction doesn't have to be chemical. It can definitely be habitual,
yeah.
and that's what gambling turns out to be. And to be honest with you, yeah, you're right. He should leave. He should either put her in a position where she needs to get help, or she can get help. But then at the same time, you know, uh, oh wow, yeah, I'll have to ask you about that one. Now I've heard stories, and I don't know. I'm sure you've probably heard these stories too. A lot of women, especially, mostly women, and even guys, you would hear about these old timers, stashing money in a mattress, hide money in a coffee can, things like that. Um,
Yeah, old people do that.
this is, yeah, this is nothing like that. We're you're talking about something that was kind of started back in the days of like the depression, where they didn't trust banks and things like that, and not necessarily just that, but I mean there was also they would put money away and save money like that because, well, especially women. Um, if things went south, they had to be able to get out, and they didn't have access to the checking account.
That's right.
Husband controlled all that money, so they would stash a little bit of money away in case they had to get out. And this is back in a time when courts turned a blind eye to abuse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in situations like that, I can completely understand people hiding money from each other.
Yeah. You have
But
to be united front. You have to understand both what's going on. It has to be clear what's going on because otherwise it's a huge trust issue. Um, and that's a real tough one in a relationship if that trust isn't there because you're always going to question and you're always going to be, you got to be united front. That would be brutal. So you either leave or you given like you're going to get help and I'll stick by you if you love that person or I'm gone.
yeah,
I'm gone.
do you see Patrick's comment there? Ex-husband,
And pawned wedding ring.
somebody he knows, a woman he knows, ex-husband, not his ex-husband. I don't want
Yeah.
people to misunderstand that statement. So,
Yeah.
Patrick, I got your back, brother. I know who you're talking about. So,
This
but yeah,
person's
the ex-husband
ex-husband is wedding
had
ring.
pawned his wedding ring for gambling habit. Um, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
You know it's
I
bad
guess,
when they do that because then nothing
yeah,
is
yeah,
sacred, right? So you either got to
you
decide,
know,
okay, like you're going to get help or I'm going to leave.
exactly,
Brutal, brutal,
exactly.
brutal.
So, anyways, yeah, that's the one I picked for tonight.
Yeah.
Um,
10
I didn't know you were
grand.
gonna come with the money. Yeah, ten
How
thousand
do you
dollars. I mean,
do
can you
that?
imagine?
How do you do that to your husband? And you see him,
I
what
don't
he's
know.
going through to buy a house for your ass to live in. But that just shows you the
Yeah, and
face
then
of addiction, right? There's no, it doesn't make any sense addiction. It's just it's it's a strong need to fulfill that need, to fulfill that addiction. It's brutal. I've never known anybody that has a gamble. Well, actually, no, I did know somebody who had a gambling debt long, long, long time ago, and it was brutal. But
yeah.
I've never been really close to that. Like I don't have a friend or like I've never experienced that. But devastating. It would be devastating.
So is video lottery big where you're at?
Video lottery? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
like
mean?
like the video lottery machines. It's gambling. It's like slot machines basically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have lots of casinos
Okay.
and stuff here. They're like that, or there's Keno, which is,
Yeah.
do you have Keno there?
Oh yeah, we got Keno.
Oh,
We got a bunch of different types. Nebraska's got the actual called Keno. Ours is all video Keno. But here's the thing: I used to work in a casino, and I would see regulars that would literally come in with their paychecks. They would cash their paycheck. They would
God.
not leave. They would go straight into the casino, and next thing I know, they would be walking out of the casino. Did they spend all their paycheck? I would say probably, or at
Probably.
least a good portion of it. But I mean, there was one woman I would see every single day, 3 to 4 times a day, and she would pump in anywhere from $300 to $500 each time. Now,
God.
every now and then they would win some
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Her and her husband would win some money. She would pull out, $1,000 here, $1,000 there, whatever, and he kept. I remember her husband used to tell me all the time, "Well, we're up, we're up." Well, how far could you possibly be up? I know you won, $2,000 last week,
But you
but your
spent.
wife has been in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, your wife. I know I've cashed out. You know, because
Yeah.
they would always come up with $100 bills. She'd always bring me $100 bills. Hey, give me some 20s. Here, give me some 20s. Can I get some 20s? And she would do that 3 or 4 times in one set. And I called them sets because it was like she would come and go throughout the day. And her
Wow.
husband, when he would come in, he would never gamble, but he would always drink. He drank very heavily. So he would sit next to her drinking while she gambled. And they made it work. They whatever they did, they made it work. But to be honest with you, um, I don't
Boy, there's
see
some
where.
unfulfillment there. Total lack of
Right.
fulfillment in life.
You know, and here's the oh, it gets so much better, but I'm not going to tell it. I'm going to say it because this is so good. Here's the thing. She was a drug and alcohol counselor. He
Whoa.
was an alcohol. Yes, that's what she did as a full-time job. He was an alcoholic, and well, he smoked weed, but pretty much it seems like everybody smokes that shit nowadays,
Yeah.
except me because I just can't stand the smell of it. It's just disgusting to me. But so yeah, this guy, complete alcoholic, not a bad one, not like a belligerent alcoholic. He was just really calm, cool, collected, chill, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she was dealing with her own gambling addiction, but yet she's a drug and alcohol counselor. So that's the irony of the whole thing. It's like wow. I mean,
That
it
just
doesn't.
shows you how powerful addiction is. And
Yeah,
a lack of
absolutely.
fulfillment, lack of connection to something beyond themselves that fulfills them, and total zero personal growth because they're at the casino all the time. What are they doing that's new, that's different? How are they growing as individuals?
Well,
God,
I tell you this.
that's
I tell
sad.
you this much. I saw a lot of stuff in casinos, but I'd never seen anything ever as crazy as people who come in, go, and spend that kind of money. I've never witnessed that ever in my entire life. I love going to the casino. Don't get me wrong. For me, they're a source of entertainment.
Yeah,
But I play table games. I don't play
slots.
slot machines and stuff like that. I only play table games.
Yeah,
And I take $25. I spend my 25
that's
bucks.
me too.
When it's gone,
It's
I
gone.
go. I take off. Yeah,
Yeah,
I figure that's what I'm going to spend if I go to a bar or a movie or dinner. So
a
I
bar.
take
I don't
25
think so.
bucks. Oh
25 bucks at
yeah,
a bar.
well oh yeah, I'm a cheap drunk.
Oh, okay. But
No,
yeah, I'm
I'm
the
just
same
kidding.
thing. I haven't been to the casino in years. Like I just, yeah, every once in a while would be like, hey, let's just go down to the casino. Let's go downtown. Let's take our 20, 25 bucks each. And, sometimes you can play for a couple hours and sometimes it's
Yeah,
gone too fast, but it's like, okay, let's go.
my wife and I have an agreement. The winner, whoever comes out ahead, pays for breakfast, and we go each year on our anniversary. That's the thing we've always done. So when the day we got married, or the day after we got married, we went to Deadwood, South Dakota, and that was our kind of our pre honeymoon thing,
Yeah.
and we had a good time. So every year on our anniversary, we go to Deadwood, South Dakota, and we have a good time. We go spend our 25 bucks each. Whoever comes out winning pays for dinner. She's paid for dinner a few times. I've paid for dinner a few times. We've gone home hungry a lot more times, but
That's
but we
cool.
have fun. It's our entertainment, and that's
Yeah.
the way we look at it. We don't have a. It's not something that we have to go do every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I have known of a couple people that spend a lot of time there. I mean, hell, there's even people that have been addicted to bingo. But that's still the gambling thing, right? Like they're there all day,
Yeah.
all night, dabbers, all their little doohickeys all lined up because, right, they're superstitions and
Oh yeah. I love
yeah,
the. I love going to a bingo hall sometimes. It's absolutely funny. You get these little old gray hairs, and they might have like an old Jim Beam bottle that their lover from Korea
yeah.
gave them or something. It's like, seriously, what the
I
heck?
remember
And they
when
got
those
like,
stupid trolls were in years ago. I
oh
haven't been
yeah,
to bingo
trolls.
for years either, and they have their shit all lined up like in front of their cards.
Yeah, that's
They
crazy.
shake the
It's crazy.
troll thingy so his hair's all
Get the hair.
woo, and then they put him
Yeah,
down, and they've got their little, you know.
yeah. But anyways, now, now we are coming up to the end of Grit and Grace Free for All Friday, and
And it,
folks,
whew,
thank you very much for watching. It's you know when I say we have 20 minutes, and next thing you know, we've
poof.
only got like 2 seconds. It's crazy. It's crazy, and we just had 20 minutes. But if you want to find out more about what we've got going on, Lynn, why don't you share everywhere that they can find us?
Well, you can, yeah, find our videos and every way that we're available audio on our website at gritandgracetv.com. You can find out more about us and all the links to everything to subscribe to our YouTube channel and the link to catch us on Mile High Radio, which we do play 9 p.m. Pacific every Monday night. So yeah, any way that you want to catch us, all the information you need is on our website. That's where we want you to be. Be sure to check out our show resources tab because depending on the show, sometimes we have certain resource that you can go download for free, for nothing, easy, download it. We've got some fun little quizzes. Go check it out. We had one, we just did a series a couple weeks ago on the 6 human needs, and you can go and take the test and find out what your top 2 needs are, which determines, how you make decisions and how you move through life. So be sure to check all of that great stuff out on our website.
And if you really wanted to find out more about what's going on all throughout, make sure you head on over to Mile High Radio. Man, some of the shows that are there now. I mean, if you looked at Mile High Radio last month and you go to Mile High Radio this month, complete new programming guide. It is amazing all the work that's been done over there. Thanks to Lynn, she has helped put some of the most amazing shows on the internet on this network. So go check out milehighradio.com and download that app because it's they've got so much going on, and if you don't have the app, you're not going to stay up to the minute informed, and that's what we like about everything that goes on at Mile High is it's up to the minute information. So thank you very much for watching. We've enjoyed entertaining you, we've enjoyed talking to you, and better yet, we've enjoyed just spending a little bit of our time with you. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
If and Patrick, Sunday morning social, you be there, I'll be there. Let's get together. Catch you soon.
Good night, guys.
Bye, y'all.